Hi, welcome to this video. In this video, I'm answering a question which we have all the time. What can I possibly learn in 5 days? Is it possible to learn how to do tattooing and body piercing in just 5 days? So in order to answer this question, I'm going to give you a brief overview of how we started and how we developed a program which was never our intention. At no point did we ever had the idea that we would become the world's largest tattoo training institute and provide training for over 600 artists all around the world. This was never ever our intention. And if someone had said we were going to do such a thing, I probably would have laughed, because that is just crazy. So let's start from the beginning. The tattoo industry has been around for 5,500 years. That is what physical proof we have at the moment, and probably it was around a long time before that. And up until today, it survived from a process of master training an apprentice, and then that apprentice would become a master and he would train his apprentice, and so the tradition went on. Now, some of these chains of master apprenticeship are very long and others are short, depending on when someone came into the industry that was self-taught. And over a period of time, probably a few hundred bad tattoos ended up becoming a master, learning the skills required, and then passing that information on to somebody else. So until such time as we got to the year 2000, and search engines came onto the internet, and in 2003 or 4, Google arrived, and the world became a much smaller place and much easier for information to be shared. So before that, it was always a master teaching an apprentice, and the same for me. So Dave Edwards was the master that taught me, and Malcolm Hilton, or well known as Mully, was the master who taught Dave Edwards, and so the tradition went. But we opened a chain of stores, and again, it wasn't our intention to become the largest tattoo franchise in the African continent. We never ever dreamed of that. We just opened our shop, and then we opened another and another, and eventually 18 shops were open, and we were faced with a unique set of problems which no other tattoo artist before us had faced. And that is, where do you get so many tattoo artists so that you can run a business that operates 24 hours a day in multiple locations, and people have to have off days and so on. So you can't just have one tattoo artist or two tattoo artists. You have to have 6 tattoo artists in each shop. And these tattoo artists have all got to be friendly and provide customer services and dress properly and be punctual and not be weird artists who have the tendency to be on some hallucinogenic drugs and enjoy partying and so on, because they need to open the store even on a Sunday morning at 9 o'clock and close it late at night. So we had to employ tattoo artists, lots of them. And guess what? They don't exist. Such a thing does not exist. It's like looking for hen's teeth. So we were faced with a problem. We needed lots of tattoo artists, and we needed to have them now. And so what we did is we decided we would have to train our own. And so we put together a list of what are the characteristics that we would like our tattoo artists to have. So we needed a person who is artistic, we needed a person who was clean, we needed a person who was well groomed, a person who spoke nicely, a person who had some customer service training, a whole bunch of issues related to them being good in a shopping center environment where a customer is expecting to be treated in a certain professional way, not by an artist who thinks he can behave in whatever way he feels is fit, even to the point of being rude to the customers. So we had to develop a training program to teach the right person in the shortest amount of time, bearing in mind that all our shops were proper run businesses where the employees were properly paid a salary. And if you have a whole lot of people on salary, they need to be earning money for the business. So you can't employ a person for 3 years to do an apprenticeship and be paying them above minimum wage, providing them with leave and all the trimmings that go with a full-time employee if they're of no value to your business. So we needed to get valuable employees working for our business in the shortest amount of time. So we had to analyze exactly what a tattoo artist was. What was their job description? Did they need to make tea and wash the floor for 6 months? Did they need to know how to make stainless steel needles using hydrochloric acid, silver solder, and her 450 degrees soldering iron? Did they need to know about the poisonous toxic gases that come out of the soldering process when you manufacture needles, and the health and safety effects of making needles in a tattoo shop? So all these sorts of things we knew, but did our apprentices, did our support staff need to know all these things? Or could we just teach them what they needed to know for them to be effective at doing their job? So we developed a system by breaking down the training into a 36-step process. So we started training this process, and over a period of 10 years, we improved the process. So in the beginning, it took about 3 months, and little by little, we whittled it down till eventually we could train a person in 2 weeks. And then finally, after many years and many hundreds of students, and realizing what methods worked for different people, because not everybody learns in the same way. So we developed a unique training program that would be applied to any artistic person who is genuinely keen to learn the skills of tattooing. So I hope to see you on one of our courses, and I hope that we can help you on your journey in the tattoo, piercing, permanent makeup, microblading industry, and that you will be successful in your venture.